Mga kababayang walang kaba, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, magandang hapon, at magandang gabi. Mas maganda pa kayo sa araw. Kasi ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay libreng araw. Yung gabi, hindi libre yun. Welcome po sa The Monitor, dito po naman sa PHLV Radio Las Vegas, The Monitor Business Park. Itong pag-uusapan po natin, itong episode na ito ay very special. Kasi po, ito po ay may hinggil po naman sa inyong mga energy na ginagamit sa inyong pamamahay. Hindi lamang po dito sa mainland America, especially dito pa naman sa Las Vegas, Nevada, but all over the world. Kahit nasaan ka sa sanlibutan, ay gumagamit na po ng mga pamamaraan para po hindi tayo makakabayad ng mas malaking bill para po naman sa enerhiya or energy. Now, this time, sa ating pa namang PHLB Radio Las Vegas, The Monitor, Philippines Business Park, at dito pa naman sa mainland America, ipapakilala po namin sa inyo ang ating po namang dalawang guests. Sila po ang nag-handle ng energy, tulong po natin sa mga Pilipino at sa iba't ibang lahi po rito sa Las Vegas and in California. Mga kababayang walang kaba, ang business partner ko po rito sa The Monitor ay si Bing Roldan. Siya po ang magpapakilala ng ating mga guests. Bing Roldan.
Thank you, Kuya Rex, and welcome at The Monitor with Rex Ricarte. Magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, at magandang gabi. And tonight, ipapakilala natin ang owner ng Sun Solar Life. Okay? Scott Armstrong is the owner of Sun Solar Life together with his Filipino wife, Dee Mangubat-Vu. Dee, welcome to The Monitor. Scott and Dee moved from Anchorage, Alaska in 2019. Dee was a full-time public school teacher for 20 years and has her doctorate in education. Scott was an Alaskan trucker and has lived in Alaska most of his life. Coming to Vegas was a little shocker for them because of the summer heat. And that's when they both got into the world of solar. They first installed solar in their home, and Scott was hired as a door-to-door salesman for solar. Since then, he has expanded his clientele and became a solar entrepreneur. With the help of his wife, they are slowly building a team of solar advocates. We welcome you to The Monitor, Miss Dee and Mr. Scott. Good day to both of you.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having us on here.
All right. Let's talk about Sun Solar Life. It's a good combination. Sun, it's free.
Yes.
Solar is free. And then after you have all of this too, you have life.
Life.
Wow.
And I was actually the one who decided to name it that because I was like, okay, sun, solar, and life, you can enjoy all three. So.
Yeah. Tell us more about the Sun Solar Life, Scott. At least those who are watching us on PHLB Radio, The Monitor, would understand what's going on, especially the concept. Because a lot of people are using now solar panel in their homes. Tell us about it, Scott.
Well, solar panels are designed to offset your power bill. Most people don't like paying their power bill because they get it, and it's going to be high in Las Vegas and other areas and states. During the summer, your power bill skyrockets. So here, preferably, you should have solar because most people have pools. Plus, it also depends on whether or not you're with saving the environment and switching to a clean energy because this type of energy that we're using is polluting. And I think that if we had a cheaper source of energy, which solar is, then it would be a good switch. So, yeah, it's really easy to switch to solar and break up with your power bill.
Yeah. So, when you talk about this kind of system, is it also applicable not only to homeowners but business offices too, in the buildings?
Great
Scott?
question. So, solar is actually available to multiple entities: commercial, microgrid, ground mount, residential. There's all kinds of different types of solar, but we see residential the most common, but we're seeing more and more commercial, especially where I'm from in Anchorage, Alaska, where solar hasn't really penetrated the state yet, but they're slowly doing it. As for Las Vegas, you have 312 days of sun, so commercial solar or residential or microgrid would be a definite benefit.
So, if I were the customer, how would I be able to understand? Because most of us, we don't really understand how and what's the benefit through using solar panel. Scott?
So the benefit of using solar panels is that you get to eliminate your power bill. At least that's what we strive to do. We're very honest and upfront and tell you that, this may or may not, offset your entire power bill due to the net metering, which is going on. Some people have been grandfathered in once they go solar and they get to lock in their rate. Pretty much everyone does. But with net metering, it's slowly going away. As you know, the NEM in California is going to make it hard for customers and also the solarpreneurs. But solar is easy to qualify as long as you have a home, you have a power bill. And you asked me earlier if it was for people who don't own their home. Currently, right now, it's just for residents that own their own home. But there is something called community solar that they can avail of too in other states.
Yeah. We'll be back with you in just a short while. I'll switch now to Bing Roldan for her questions to Di Vu.
All right.
Bing?
Okay. Here's my question, D, to you about the solar. How is the solar industry right now?
So the solar industry is very fluctuating. In the solar world, we call it the solar coaster. There are good days and there are bad days. As a solar businesswoman, there are days that we're just slammed with projects, and there are days that we slow down, and that's when we get to spend time with our family. Our current problem right now is actually securing panels and securing the equipment. As you already know, the tariffs are going up, and most of the panels are imported. We used to have panels that are different qualities before. We have different brands now. We're able to secure only particular panels. So in the future, hopefully that will be sold so we can avail of more panels and more quality panels. But as regards to the solar industry, the problem that we're facing right now also is some people out there are selling solar and they don't even know what they're doing. So what we do is we create the system from beginning to end. We make sure that we get their power bill so that we know what they're using, and we give them the exact amount of panels so that they will have at least 90 to 100% offset, so that they don't have to pay power bill and solar at the same time. That's why some people say, why am I paying solar and my power company? So that's the thing. We make it so that the people that we help will really see the savings, and that they will actually know that solar does work. And if it's done correctly, like ours, we don't have any more power bill except for the connection fee to the grid.
Dee, you are a professional teacher. Tell us about what happened during those times that you didn't have yet the business on Sun Solar Life. Tell us about it, about what happened to you during those times.
So I have been a teacher for, 20 years. I've taught anywhere from kindergarten all the way to graduate school. And my recent job here at CCSD is actually a literature teacher. So I taught English to high school, and I had completely left my job, not because I don't like teaching, because I love teaching. I still teach my reps. I still teach and train them correctly, but because of the fact that solar got so busy, and the fact that the school system has changed a lot. And I'm not gonna go into the politics of the school, but I love teaching. I don't know anything else but to teach. That's why now, instead of teaching students, I teach homeowners. I teach my reps how to do it correctly.
Wow.
And I love teaching. That was my first job here in America back in year 2000. My first job was being a kindergarten teacher, and I will never forget that, because that was like the best time of my life when I'm learning about the culture.
Did you remember when you had an experience about your bill, your electric bill?
Yes, so as a teacher, we already know what we have every month. We are on salary. There's no ups and downs. If we have to get an increase in salary, you're going to have to fight with the union.
You're right.
With the union. So anyway, when I had my first power bill here in Las Vegas, which was August of 2019, it was about 360. And I was like, this is so out of my range. I really need to chop it down. So I called 6 solar companies and listened to their presentation. And then there's one that I actually liked. I'm just going to go solar either way, because face it, you're going to go solar either way. It's a matter of when. It's not an if. It's almost like, okay, I'm going to go solar. If I qualify, I'll go. And I was really surprised that I qualified, even with a teacher's salary. So it doesn't matter if I earned like 40,000, 30,000. As long as I had a good credit score, I was able to qualify and get the solar financing. Now, instead of paying my power bill, it's a bill swap. So I only pay my solar panels, and it increased the value of my home.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, because we had it appraised, and we bought it so cheap. Like, I'm gonna throw a number out there because it's the year 2022. In 2019, I bought my house for $337, and then without solar, it was appraised at $465 this year. With the solar, it's now appraised at $495.
Wow.
Wow.
Because of the increase that my solar panels have gone. And I could get into more details with the real estate, because there's a lot of appraisers that will appraise your home for a higher value, because they already know that solar is just like a kitchen renovation.
Wow.
It's just like adding a pool. When you buy a pool, it's like $100,000. When you sell it, you're probably gonna get a return of $70,000. But with solar, if you put in $25,000 a panel, you're gonna get it back when you sell the house. So people in America are very transient. They just keep on moving. Not like in the Philippines, you're rooted.
Yeah.
You buy a house, you stay there for a long time. So,
Yes.
but in America, I'm tired of my house. 5 years later, you sell it. Good. You have solar. It's more. It's
Yeah.
more.
Oh, that's like
So the-
add-on charges?
so-
Yes.
So the equity increases, right?
That's
if you
correct.
have the solar panel at home.
Yes.
Now, here's a follow-up question from Bing Roldan.
Yes.
Follow-up question.
Dee, this is for Dee and Scat. What are the main reasons why Vegas is hot about solar, and do you only install in Vegas?
So it really makes sense to do solar in Las Vegas, because I'd say probably 60% of the people have a high power bill. The biggest thing that I learned with knocking on doors is people don't really want to talk to you. But if you educate them right away within 5 to 10 seconds, they'll at least hear you out. So the biggest thing is 312 days of sun. Why not use that sun to harness power that costs less? And not to be, offending anybody, but NV Energy is more expensive because you're renting your power, and we want you to own your power. And the question is, do we install in other states? Absolutely. We have multiple partnerships with different installers across the nation. So, just give us a call and we'll see if we can help you.
So panels and equipment, you have it. The roof penetration, you have it. Labor and workmanship, and installing all this equipment for Sun Solar Life.
Correct.
Okay, from D, let's listen in kung may mga follow-up question din si Bing for D.
Yes, actually, earlier I asked Dee about, can you explain what the federal tax credit is for people to go solar?
Yes, so the federal tax credit is the government's way of saying if you go solar and use renewable energy, there's a budget that's dedicated for that from the federal government.
Wow.
And they're entitled to 26% this year. And it's slowly fading away because when we first started in 2019, we had a 30% tax credit. It was 30%, and then they slowly phased it out to 26, and then 26. This year was supposed to be 22, but before Trump left office, he actually signed to extend the tax
Wow.
credit. So the thing is that the government is there to help you with the tax credit. Now, if you have taxable income, if you are a W-2 employee, you're paying taxes to the government, you will qualify for the tax credit. It can range anywhere from 5,000, and we've seen as high as 20,000 for tax credit to help pay for the system. It's designed to offset the cost of the system. Say the system is $40,000, 26% of that is going to be paid for by whatever tax credit you have.
Wow.
So,
Marami ang hindi nakakaalam niyan
Exactly.
about this federal thing sa tax credit. And that's why Scott and Dee, once you talk to them, they will be able to educate us. Kasi hindi ko alam na mayroon palang ganun, no? Kaya natatakot ang mga Pinoy pagka sinabing mag-apply
Solar.
ko ng solar.
Ayaw na agad.
Hindi
Yes.
ko kaya yan.
Kasi mahal.
There are a lot of questions that Scott and Dee probably can give you information and mga sagot, no, about your questions. And kindly plug your phone number, Dee and Scott,
Yes.
just in case.
So if you want to reach us, a good number would be 725-465-4078. If it rings just and goes to voicemail, try to leave a voicemail. Otherwise, text me to get a quicker response. And we're available all the time, pretty much 9 to 9. So.
Right. And also, Dee, what's your contact number, Dee, just in case?
So I usually go through our company number is 1-866-POWR, 1-866-POWER, or 1-866-702-7697. So
All right.
that's basically what we have in our brochures. And Scott is very personable. He always gives out his personal number, and that's how he is always there to take care of customers, because his personal number is the first thing to be called. I am a mom of 3, so I said I'm not
Wow.
answering phone calls after 5 o'clock.
Oh. So that's very good, Kuya Rex, kasi most of the time, especially this kind of business, kailangan natin ng service. But this couple is very hands-on to their business. So in fact, their private numbers actually binibigay nila. Kasi ang importante sa ganitong is yung service, no? Kasi dito, when we offer right away, sasabihin nila, how about the maintenance? How about the services? Mahal ba yan? Can you explain sino ba ang capable dito or para sa solar? Like follow-up question ko lang to sa both couple. How hard is it to sell a house with solar? Yan, kasi maganda yan Maganda yung points na ganun.
Yes, that would be my avenue. I've talked to a lot of realtors, and I was a realtor in the past as well, since 2005. I actually had to talk to them and say it's not really that hard. In the past, there were a few questions about how do I transfer this solar to the next homeowner. There's a pros and cons. Some people are selling leases, so they have to fulfill that contract when they transfer that over to the new homeowner, or the new homeowner will have to assume that contract and sign another contract with the leasing company. Now with the purchase, which is what we're currently offering, I'm not saying we're not going to ever offer leases in the future because it's in the works. We offer a purchase. What you do when you sell solar is you just bundle the cost of whatever the solar panels are. The escrow will pay the solar lending or the solar financiers, and then the transaction will be very smooth because everything is already taken care of. The new homeowner walks in without power bill, and the easy transfer, and then the homeowner who sold the house gets all the money that's extra after the solar has been paid off by escrow.
Okay. So, questions ko din, Dee, is that, let's say, for example, mag-apply ako for solar, let's say today. ilang days bago ma-install. Kasi yun ang laging inaano. Because most of the time, other companies, no, matagal ang install. So, how about the Sun Solar Life?
So I would say, on average, most companies move at the pace that they choose, and that's where we've struggled with other installers. But lately, installers are getting more and more behind because of supplies and demand. So you're going to see your install times get a little bit, longer. Ours are already starting to do it as well, but that's just normal. The more and more people want to go solar, the more that it becomes a demand. So right now we're averaging about anywhere from 15 to 30 days. Most companies here are doing 30 to 45 and even 60. It just depends on, what they have available. So if you are thinking about going solar, definitely give us a call and we'll help you right away.
Okay. So again, the phone number of Scott
It's 725-465-4078. Please leave a text or call and leave a voicemail.
and then call the solar company, Solar Life, Sun Solar Life, 866-702-POWR or 866-702-7697. By the way, marami nanonood sa atin ng mga nagkaka-interest na magnegosyo
Yes.
sa Sun Solar Life. Unsa may requirements ani di?
So there's a lot of opportunities in solar. So you can start out as referral agent, and we normally give you $1,000 for every person you refer to us.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, and then if you want to be a network marketer for us or like a digital marketer, there is another way to do that. If your network is very big and you know someone who's interested, we have a compensation for that. And if you want to be an agent, like we started out as solar, I would call it solar agent, but we started as solar advisor, and that's when you can see the actual compensation go up. It's like being a realtor, so you're commission based, but the rewards are pretty much very frivolous, I would say. If you work hard and if you actually make sure that you're reaching out to people and making sure that you do a good job so you can get referrals.
Right.
Most of our thing is referral based, and that's why we know that we're doing a good job in the Filipino community and also in other races as well. We don't just do Filipinos, we also do Hispanics. My husband's
American?
so yes, we do.
Are you guys hiring right now?
Yes. So right now we're hiring for appointment door-to-door setters. We're also looking for closers, door-to-door recruiters. Our big niche is the door-to-door aspect, but obviously we know we'll entertain anything that has to do with sales. We're going to heavily vet and make sure that you're a good fit. Not everybody wants to knock on 100 degrees. So what we're trying to do right now is transition from 50% on the doors and 50% in the home. So we'll be having set appointments hopefully very soon. And there are a lot of big things to come. So if you're looking to get into the solar world right now, definitely give us a call.
Alright. Thank you very much, Scott. And mga kababayan, wala ka ba, kayo po ay nanonood at kikinig po naman dito sa The Monitor ng PHLV Radio Las Vegas, ang The Monitor Business Park. We're talking about business. So, dito po naman sa Las Vegas, ang daming negosyo rito, maraming negosyante, but this definitely, this kind of business, solar or Sun Solar Life, is parang kabute. Ang daming mga pamamahay rito na meron na pong mga solar. So, meron follow-up questions si Ate Bing Roldan?
Yes, for Scat and D again. What is your advice for people that want to start in the solar industry?
Well, I would say if you want to start in the solar industry, kind of take a look at the company, vet them a little bit, make sure that they're good people, look at the reviews. Don't just jump in with the first person. See what kind of structure they have, compensation. That's where my wife would come in. That's why we're going to be heavily vetting people who are interested. But it doesn't mean that we won't, entertain all walks of life. I was a truck driver and I turned into a solar pro. So it just goes to show that it doesn't matter who you are. You can do whatever you try to do.
Wow.
D?
So my advice is that being a solar advisor is not going to make you immediate money. Just want to lay it out there. You'll have to wait until they get installed, because we do have to wait for the install to get paid. Just like being a realtor, you have to wait for the house to
Exactly.
close
Yeah.
to
Close
get
the
paid.
escrow.
So yes, if you're into that kind of lifestyle where you know you're gonna be paid after a particular service is done, then definitely, we have a lot of realtors that are also solar pros, because what they do is refer people to us. People that have closed on their homes, they refer them to us. So that's the good thing about being a solar entrepreneur. If you have that mindset that you have to grind, you have to hustle, you never stop marketing, that's always the thing where you can be more successful. I don't knock doors, my husband does, but what I do is I do market on Facebook, Instagram, and I make sure I reach out to my friends and make sure that they know someone that I could potentially help.
All right.
So we have here the brochure of Sun Solar Life. Dito pa naman sa PHL, pakikita pa naman sa inyo. If you want all of this information, just call D and Scotty. And then they'll be able to explain it to you. They will educate you why solar today. It's solar increases home value. Yan ang gusto kong marinig no? Yung
Yes.
bang home value na pag may solar ka, tataas pala.
Ang value ng bahay.
Ang value ng bahay. And then, you get to own your power and you take control of it. No?
Maski 24 hours ako mag-AC.
24 hours.
So hindi ako kakabahan sa bills ko. Kasi tama ba kung ano yung babayaran mo every month, that's forever.
And the biggest thing is that people don't understand that they're renting their power,
Yeah.
and you don't have to rent your power because the increases keep coming. Just like
Yeah.
in California, everybody has to go solar when they buy a new home; it has to be included. So why not just control your power by owning it? You don't rent your house, you don't rent your car. Start owning your own power.
Yeah,
Great.
that's a good idea. Scott mentioned about, a while back, you mentioned about the electric cars.
Yes.
So
the pain of that is your power bill is going to continue to rise. If you're thinking of getting an electric car and you're not going solar, then that's definitely going to be problematic for you. If you add an added usage in your home, like a pool or anything like that, and a solar pro comes in and doesn't tell you that these changes are going to occur, then you need to stop dealing with that person and just give us a call, because we're going to come in, we're going to give you a 30, 45 consultation, minute consultation. We're going to sit down with you and your wife or your husband or whoever, and we're going to actually give you the facts and educate you the right way. So we want you guys to get quotes. We want you to talk to everyone else, and then you need to call us last.
yeah. In the Philippines, D, may plano ba kayo na mag-expand in the Philippines?
Yes, actually, it's a good question, Kuya Rex.
That's the thing. I have a lot of friends that are asking, why don't you bring solar to the Philippines?
Philippines, yes.
I see a problem there. I'm sorry, I switched to my native tongue.
Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
So, ang problema sa Pilipinas, wala tayong mga government programs that would help subsidize sa price
I see.
sa panels. And then wala tayong mga lenders. We don't have the lenders to back us
You mean the
up.
private lenders?
Yes, we don't have millionaires that will just loan you money so that you can have solar. So I think the best thing to solve is like a community solar for people that can't afford.
Community.
Exactly. Community.
Solar. Yes, they can use clean energy. They can derive from it, and then that will help power it. Because in the Philippines, unstable atong grid.
Yeah,
So our grid is
exactly.
very unstable. It keeps going on and off, on and off. And then what we need is, of course, batteries, so that we will have a stable power grid in the Philippines. I mean, we've had 1 month of blackouts during the typhoon.
But I think one of these days, Kuya Rex, eventually magkakaroon tayo ng ganyang program sa government, no? Hopefully. No? So, solar kasi is, I sobrang believer ako talaga ng solar. Kasi when it comes to electric bills, especially when you're a single mom, everything, alam mo yan, bills. Number one mo na iniinda is the electricity bill.
Right.
Really.
And so the biggest thing is, I guess what we're saying is, if there are investors willing to look into this and are interested in moving into the Philippines, definitely we would love to hear your story, and maybe we can help you as well.
So are you open with that?
I'm open to entertaining anybody, investors who want to do anything in third world countries or anywhere in the world.
In the world. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So these are good developments, especially what Dee mentioned about the community projects for solar. So, bale, ang community pwedeng gumamit ng solar.
Solar, yes.
Di ba? Na magkakaroon ng libre sila kahit na wala sa bahay nila. At least once it's being built, maaring the community will enjoy the clean energy. Alright? Mga kababayang walang kaba, pakinggan natin ang minsan pa ang mga explanation about this sun solar life. Kasi sun, araw, libre yun. Solar, libre na naman.
Exactly.
Tapos may life
May
pa.
life.
Ha? D, pakinggan natin si D, ang mga developments sa Sun Solar Life business.
So, in Sun Solar Life, we pride ourselves for our work and the dedication we have to our community. Not only that, but I also created a nonprofit both here and in Alaska, where I'm from, because I'm passionate about it. I have a nonprofit here called Clean Energy Power Project, and in Alaska, it's called Alaska Renewable Power Project. I hope to bring awareness to the students. Again, being a teacher, I like to teach, and I want to make sure that kids know that there's other ways except fossil fuels to actually power our planet, not just using dirty energy. So that's one development. Of course, Sun Solar Life backs my nonprofit. So whenever we earn from our company, I spend it to the nonprofit to help
Wow.
awareness for clean energy, and also in Alaska as well. So again, Alaska is practically the sister company of Clean Energy Power Project. So I'm very into the environmental, I always tell my husband, you gotta save water. It's disappearing here in Las Vegas. We don't even have water. I went to Lake Mead. It's like all the way gone.
Oh.
Right.
And he's like, okay. So because growing up in the Philippines, we conserve energy. We conserve water. If you're not using the light, you turn it off. But in America, we're sort of like a wasteful society. We
Yeah.
leave lights all day long. We leave TV running with nobody watching.
Exactly.
Yes, there's a lot of things going on. So I want to bring that same awareness. I know that this is not a poor country like Philippines.
Yes.
Like I grew up really poor, and we conserve power, and that's my mission for Clean Energy Power Project and Alaska Renewable Power Project.
All right. Final question from Bing. Do you have some
Well,
final
actually,
questions?
how many state pwede tayo mag-offer ng Sun Solar Life?
So our main states, I'm gonna mention them. It's we have, of course, here Nevada, California, Arizona, Utah, and we have partner installers all
I
over America. So if you have someone in other states that has sun, I think most of America has sunlight. Even in Alaska, we're trying to bring it there, but right now we're not just there yet. We do have partner installers that can install anywhere in America. I'm very sure that my husband has something to add to that one as well, because he is very good with networking with installers, and,
Yeah,
and
right.
they vet us that we do a good job.
So
Scott.
we only partner with 5-star installers. We have multiple different ones here in Las Vegas, Nevada, but right now we're just using one primarily. In California, we have an exquisite one that we're just not going to mention names right now, but if you reach out to us, we'll be able to talk to you more. As I said, we only partner with the best of the best.
The best of the best.
And that's the biggest thing, is that, make sure you're vetting these companies, which I heavily do. And in the past, it's bit us because we didn't do that, but now we're moving forward. So I'd say we have about 19 to 27 active states that we can install, and those installers will be someone that we would call upon to get you installed in your state.
All right. Thank you, Scott. All right. Let's go back to Dee for her final word para po naman sa gustong magkaroon ng solar service sa kanilang pamamahay, and sa mga gusto po namang magnegosyo dito po naman sa Sun Solar Life. Dee?
So if you are interested or curious about how to save money on your power bill, please give us a call, 725-465-4078, or visit sunsolarlife.org. Now, if you want to start a business or with us, then definitely reach out to us. Again, the best way to reach us is to sunsolarlife.org, and there is careers section there, and you can fill out your information. We'll give you a call back, and then we'll see if it's something you want to do. The funny thing is that I actually have students already in the past that are asking me, "Hey, can you give me a job?" I'm like, "Oh, sure. We would definitely welcome everyone who wants to help out in the advocacy for solar."
Right. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you,
Final
Dee.
word from Scotty.
Scotty.
Scott?
Well, solar's here to stay, and it's really not going to go anywhere. The question is not, as we said before, when you're going to do it is the question. If you're interested in saving money on your power bill, if you're interested in a fixed rate, if you're interested in helping, your community and the world per se, then switching to solar is just super simple. You don't need to rent your power. You get to start owning your power. And I get this question a lot. Well, I don't want 2 bills. I'm like, well, great. I don't want 2 bills either. But I do want to start saving money. So the simple thing is that are you interested in saving money or spending money? Because I'd say 90% of the people are interested in saving. And with solar, when done right, it works for you and your family.
All right. Thank you very much, Scott. Final word from Bing Roldan, my guest co-host sa The Monitor.
Thank you very much, and this is very informative to everyone, because I believe, and as a believer of a solar, we really need this very, very important. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bing. Mga kababaeng walang kaba, sa ngalan po naman ni Scott Armstrong, sa ngalan din po naman ni Vu. Deja vu, no? And ni Bing Roldan, co-host natin dito po naman sa The Monitor ng PHLV Radio Las Vegas. And sa ngalan din po naman ni CEO Mr. Johan Saison at ni Dr. Flora Saison, and sa Reno, Nevada, sa ngalan din po naman ni Jana Saison. Hanggang sa muli po, pakinggan po natin to every Tuesday ng hapon, so or 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yes.
The Monitor ng PHLV Radio Las Vegas Business Park, para po naman sa inyong information and education. Inyo po namang abang lingkod, Rex Ricarte po lamang. Maraming salamat po, mga kababayang walang kaba.